Hello everybody, this is Simon with Let's Play Mega Man Zero. If you missed or skipped the screenshot update, we're here because CL asked us to save a dude from being retired. Pretty chippy music for such a grim mission, eh? First though, Buster back to primary weapon as I love it so, and we got a sword now, kinda important. The normal swing is weak as hell, and while we can use it during a walk, you should never do so. Won't kill most enemies and get you hit. Dashing and swinging, however, is a different story, and the most powerful it gets is during a jump slash. We also miraculously got the Buster upgrade after the intro mission, allowing us this half-charged shot, which is double as strong as a normal pellet. Those spike balls are complete assholes. They come out of nowhere pretty fast. You more or less have to know where they're coming and not leaving. Okay, not leaving. And because the GBA screen is kind of small, which is a very valid complaint, it is pretty tough to see them coming, making them among the hardest enemies period in this game, or the following. So we're still in the second mission though. It's kind of a problem. I will expand more on that on the thread, but it's really a stupid idea to have a mission as hard as this one as early. If I had gotten up to the left side, for example, I would have been in a world of pain. The wind gimmick is also not fun, and not being able to see where you fall is also not fun. Climbing back upwards while the wind works against you is also not fun. This whole mission is pretty poorly thought out in my opinion. Though it throws me a gigantic bone by giving me 2 extra lives in a row here, which is really rare. But yeah, respawn is in full effect and the wind fucks with the controls, so not fun at all again. And if you go up there, you're again being rained on by the spike balls, which is the worst thing, so always take the bottom route. The spike towers here are also not the funnest enemies to deal with, just because, well, they more or less speed bumps. The good thing about them is that you can easily farm up hits on them, because if you hit lots of things, you will upgrade your weapons, as I just did with the saber, which gives me this double slash. For now it is pretty useless, but it's going to come into its own later on, and we can't get that elf, sorry. Going to return for that one later on. One more word on the spike balls. I feel like they are kind of a tech demo because of the way they bounce around and accelerate when rolling downwards, which is kind of neat as an enemy design, but as I said, it falls completely flat because they're so abysmal. Anyway, the mission itself is pretty short, thankfully, and we're already at the boss. The big problem is now that the boss is an absolute bastard, which adds to the problems this mission has. Because usually, when you've got a problem with the mission in this game, you can at least say, okay, then get a few more cyber elves, upgrade your weapons until you get a real nice bonus, and then you can more or less fumble your way through it. In this mission, however, you don't have much options, because you only got the elves I have got at the moment. I've got all of them, obviously, and upgrading your weapons will take quite a long time because we're starting at 0. And then this guy comes along, and if you're not used to how this series handles bosses, or if you just see him the first time, he will completely murder you. He's got an insane variety of moves, and some of them are pretty dickish on their own. For example, this one here, where you cannot hit him at all because his global block shots, and he's constantly firing at you and is pretty hard to avoid. His zooming around the room, where he can also suddenly change directions, is also not very fun at all. And I've heard of many first-time players who got to this boss here, at least after the horrible stage, and then got completely murdered. And extra lives are usually pretty spare in this game, so maybe you fumble through him and finally get him and you've got 0 lives left, and afterwards you realize, okay, then I do another stage, another boss, and well, that was it. I cannot retry it again. Oh, and I'm sorry I talked too much, because, well, that was it for those guys. But yeah, Aztec Falcon, a gigantic dick. And I'm going to make him pay now for being a dick. If you know what you're doing, it's actually not that hard, and he's the only boss, except for the intro boss, who has only got one life bar. You know, we're going to see more of them later on. But also the fact that you've got a time limit and his constant blocking of attacks is really not fun at all. So the best option to deal with him is always hang on the wall, unless he's doing the one move where he can reach you, this one. And just outweight this one here. And lure him up, because he will fly up the wall when you are on it. Jump down, hit him with a jump slash, and see what he does. If you figure out the pattern for those bosses, it's not that hard. And you can destroy them easily if you know what you're doing. It just takes quite a bit of practice. And your first time around you will get murdered. Absolutely no question. It's just you have to realize that the game demands practice, and I think it's pretty rewarding to figure out the boss's pattern and then be able to completely destroy him. We'll see more of that in the hard mode video, because I have no option there but do the boss without getting hit. So that's going to be pretty fun. Anyway, for now we've rescued those guys here. They're pretty thankful, and I do like the way they're shaking right now and trembling, because it was kind of a dire situation, no? But for now, turning to the base, and we've got an abysmal rank, because dying in a stage actually slashes your enemy count. I don't know why, but it makes the score completely plummet. So, I'm overall B rank now, and this is very intentional, because being A rank and S rank actually makes bosses harder and have one extra move later on. I'm going to show those off obviously, because I'm going to be high rank in the hard mode videos, so I've got something to look forward there. And more talking. So we won't. Oh yeah, and this door here, now that we're B rank, it's locked. See you next time, and thank you very much for your attention.